Hey everyone, this is Corey with Stafford's EDC, and today we're taking a look at the Cavol knives Karasu. This is a collaboration with the designer Tiguas, or Tigus, I don't know how you say it, but you can see his logo there. It is spelled Tiguass. Sorry if you hear any talking in the background. People in my house like to yell across the house to talk with each other, so that might happen from time to time. You can see the blade steel marked right there by my thumb, M390. This has a nice bead blast finish, which it's well done. It's just not my favorite kind of finish. I'm glad it's M390 though. It's less likely to rust, but you can have some rusting on bead blasting, so that's why I don't like it as much. This is a Pikal style of knife, meaning it is self-defense oriented, meant to be held in this direction, so the cutting edge is towards the user, cutting edge in. Otherwise, it's also how it is said, I believe. I could have that wrong, but so it's typically used for self-defense, this style of knife. But the way that they've designed this, it's also quite comfortable this way, meaning that to use this with its point and kind of hawksbill-esque shape is great for utility use. That was the idea behind this design, and I think they executed it pretty well. Using this for utility style cuts, of course you have a nice tip that you can penetrate boxes with or whatever and slice along, and then you have the hawksbill style blade, which when slicing kind of guides you all the way along the edge due to that curve that's in there. If you enter material this way, kind of make contact with the whole blade when slicing across. The size of this guy is interesting. It's pretty small. The overall length is 5.62 inches. You have a blade stock thickness of 0.12 inches at its thickest point. The blade itself is 2.12 inches, and the handle length is 3.52. I wear large size gloves, but you can see how this fits in my hand. Easily have 3 fingers on there. Pinky just kind of hangs out, and it might catch this bottom end of the pocket clip here, which has a nice chamfer to it. Makes it nice and comfortable. And so if you did need to use this in a self-defense style situation, it's not super uncomfortable to use, though the tip of this pocket clip does get at my pointer finger. But if you're using this for self-defense, I don't think that a hot spot is your biggest concern. You know what? I'm sorry. This isn't a bead blasted finish. I'm just reading a little further. This is a gray ceramic coating on this blade. So take back everything I said about that. Ceramic coating. So this should be harder than normal M390 would be. On the outside anyway. Of course, not talking about the sharpened edge. Just scratch resistant wise. But you're looking at 59 to 61 HRC on their M390, if you happen to care about that. This is running on bearings, it's a frame lock, flat grind, and there's not a whole lot else spec-wise to say about this. You know, it's obviously not your typical everyday carry type knife. It works for that. As I said, like, it worked great for boxes. The grind is fine. It's thin enough to slice, and apparently pots and pans are getting thrown all over the kitchen, so I'm sorry if you hear that in the background. What I was saying was that it's definitely not built for the everyday use, but it can be. You know, it's not just a self-defense knife with edge in. It is also a just fine letter opener, box opener. You're not really going to cut food with this just because the blade shape doesn't really lend itself to that. But I broke down cardboard with this with absolutely no issues. Now it slices just fine, so it's totally good to use for everyday carry in my opinion. Though, like I said, food-wise, if you do use your knife for that, you're going to want something else, most likely. Working with a very small portion of the blade that would be doing the cutting. And you might have saw me there kind of struggling. You can get up and around this front flipper, but it's quite sharp. Will kind of leave a little bit of a dent on your finger. It's much easier just to use the thumb to get in there and flip it like normal. No issues in that department when trying to use it the right way anyway. Now, even though it is on bearings, it's not like crazy drop shut. It's because it's tiny, has a very light blade. You can see there is the hole in this, and you really can't flick this. You can try, and I'm really trying, trust me. But left-handed, you're pushing into that detent ball, so I just don't think it's going to work for you. And right-handed, it's the same thing with your thumb, and there's just not enough access to that right-handed to get in there. You can't get underneath that at all, so you could use it for two-handed opening, but it seems to fully be an aesthetic choice. And of course, that chamfer is for the lock bar. As I stab myself in the tip of the finger, just be careful with these small knives doing that. Yeah, of course, that's not going to be for everyone, a knife like this, and certainly not for me. If I didn't mention it already, these are expensive. They're not cheap. This one is $288, this gray and blue combo. They also have one that is black coated with a gold inlay, and that is $10 cheaper. That is $278. And I'm looking at Cavol's website directly. They might be cheaper from retailers, but I'm not sure about that. Something to keep in mind, though, if you happen to be interested in this one. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this, and I hope you let me know what you think about it down below. While it's not for me, I could see this totally being for somebody out there. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.